bumps, no bulges, no bends. Okay, I'm happy with that length right there. I really am. Now let's go ahead and let's get a measurement on that. Let me get it. That's right at 3 inches. So we've tapered it about another inch because we started out with 2 inches. So we're going to come out here and we're just going to make a mark at 3 inches, which just happens to be just a little bit past our hardy hole. About 3/8 to half an inch past the hardy hole. So we're going to put it back in the fire. We're going to bend this one over for the convenience bend, and we're going to bend this one back, and we're going to taper this one to match that one. We're going to hook that on the hot cut. We're going to bring it out. Straighten it out. We're going to bring that back down. Now before we go any further, we're going to put that back so we don't lose any digits. But there, we've took the one piece, the one taper we had, and we bent it out of the way, called the convenience bend, and then we brought the other one back out straight so that we could taper it. Okay, let's check our mark, and we're still probably a half inch away from our mark. So we're going to put it back in, we're going to work it again. Taper it some more. Okay, we're cold, so we're going to stop working it, and we're right there where we need to be. We're right at our mark. We're going to heat it one more time. We've got a little bit of pucker here we got to get rid of. And then we're going to unfold it while we're at it. So we just want to get that pucker out. Double check everything. Make sure it's where we want it, and it is. Maybe just a little more of a point, not much. Now we're going to grab our hot cut real quick. We're going to pull that out. We're going to bring it down. We're going to compare the two. Not too bad, pretty well even. That's what we're looking for. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take and we're going to bend one back out of the way. And then we're going to scroll one. And then once we scroll the one, then we're going to take the other and we're going to bring it back. And we're going to scroll it or do like a flame finial or whatever. I really don't like doing the double scroll thing. I like to do one scroll and then one, like I said, like a flame finial or whatever you want to call it. And that's just the style that I prefer. But first we're going to do the scroll on one side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the convenience bend again. Going to get everything. I like to start out with everything. We got our convenience bend. So we're cold. So I'm going to heat it back up. So we want to bring this out. We want to put it over the horn of the anvil. We just want to coax it around. Try to keep it up on edge. Don't let it roll over on it. Don't get in a hurry. it gets cold, like it's doing now, stop and reheat it. We're not in that big of a hurry. That's what we've got so far. So we bring it back out. Now when we do this, we don't want to scroll it completely around where we want it. Because what we're going to do now, is we're going to take and we're going to work the outside edge. And that's what we have so far. Now if this makes any sense to you, when you work that outside edge, it pushes the metal out. And it brings that scroll on around. So if you bring your scroll to here, and then you start that, your scroll's going to bend on around into here. And I don't like my scroll to go too far in there. So I stop early, and then like I said, I bevel or taper that outside edge, and it spreads that metal and it brings it on around and gives it a nice smooth curve. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring it back out, and we're going to bring that out, undo that convenience bend, and then we're going to take it over to the horn, and we're going to do what I call a flame finial, or a flame taper, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not real good on fancy terms, but anyway, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to hook that right there. We're going to pull it just like we did before. Get it opened up, and we're going to hammer it down. Now before we do the flame finial, we're just going to give them both a little bit of taper, just like that. Now we're going to heat it back up because we're cold. Now we're just going to take this, we're going to come over here, we're going to take it down that way a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. I'm going to bring it up this way, turn it backward again, in the opposite way, the opposite direction. We're going to bring it down a little bit more. We're going to straighten everything out again. I'm going to take up the last bit of the edge. This is what we've got right now. We're going to heat it up and we're going to refine it a little bit more. So we're going to bring it out again. We're going to give it a little more curve here. I'm not happy with that curve there, so we're going to give it a little bit more curve there. Maybe even a little bit more than that. But we want it to be a fluid curve. We don't want any kinks in it. And we're going to take this one. We're going to come back here just a little bit. We're going to do that again. And we're going to take that. Kind of a rounding blow on that last part. But I'm going to go just a little bit more right here. So I'm just doing it by eye until I think it looks nice. That's the way I like to do mine right there. So now we're going to take and we're going to mark on the anvil those two scrolls so that we can copy the other side. We're going to bring it over here, we're going to set it here, and we're going to copy the outside of our scroll right there. we're going to copy the outside of our flame finial right there. So we can lay it up there when we do the other one, we can get it. And on this finial, I made sure I did about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of the flat piece here so that I had something to line it up with. So there's our reference marks so we can make the 2 ends meet. So let's get the other ends done. So here we have our backing piece. We have both the scrolls, the scroll and the flame finial or the flame shape done on both ends. We worked them against our marks on the anvil so they pretty much match on both ends, okay? So the next thing we're going to do right now, that's a piece of flat steel. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to texture. Now you can take a small ball peen and you can just beat the bejeebers out of it and just, you know, give it a hammer texture, but I'll show you the tool I'm going to use in just a second. It's a handy dandy flea market ball peen, and I've just taken a MIG welder and I've doppled MIG on it, and this will give it kind of what I call a gravelly texture. But this is what I'm going to use to texture it. Now we want to make sure that our chisel cuts are facing upward. We'll just take this and start on our scrolls first and work our way back. Brush that so you can see the texture on it. There's the gravelly texture. We're going to do that to the whole piece. Now if you look at it, it's all warbly and wobbly. Let's get a little better picture here. It's all warbly and wobbly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a flatter and we're going to flatten that out. Now we're going to bring this out. We're going to set it on the anvil with the bow facing upward. We're going to take a flatter and we're just going to flatten that out. We're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing. It's pretty flat now, so. So that's pretty well flat now. It's not bad at all. If you look at it, it's not bad at all. So there's our backing piece, and it's ready for the hooks now. So now we're going to show you how we make the hooks, and then we're going to put the whole piece together. One more thing on this flatter. If you don't have a flatter, you need to think about getting one, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the handiest tools you'll ever own. flattens stuff out real nice. That's why they call it a flatter, I guess. But anyway, if you don't have one, get you one. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our hook, and we're going to make our hooks. We got to have 5 of them. We're going to make them from a number 16 horseshoe nail is what we're going to make them from. First thing we want to do is we want to bring it out and just put it on the anvil. We're going to take the head of that nail. So there's the head of our nail. We want to forge that kind of an oval shape. Not real thin, we don't want to get it too thin. And we're going to straighten that back out. We're going to heat the other end of that up now. Now all we're going to do here, back here, is we're going to take our handy dandy scrolling pliers. We're going to make that pigtail scroll, just like that. Just like we did for our horseshoe hearts. We want to try to get that as round as we possibly can. Just like that. Now we're just going to take that, we're not even going to reheat it. I'm going to bend that around. Straighten that back up. That gives me my hook for the key, and we're going to make 5 of these, but I'm only going to show you this one because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me make 5 of these. So now we're just going to take these. We're going to take our center punch. We're just going to kind of eyeball center. We're going to center punch each one of them. Okay, I'm going to drill these. You can punch them, but I'm going to drill them. Something this tiny, I just assume just drill it. But if you drill these, get a pair of vice grips or something and get a hold of them down here when you go to drill them. Because if they flip, if you try to hold it and it flips around, it's going to hurt. It's probably going to cut you. So try to get a hold of it on this end with a pair of vice grips. So we've got our textured plate, and we got our hole drilled in our hook. So now we have to decide whether we want the hook to be, whether we want the scrolls to be up or we want the scrolls to be down. Myself, I kind of like the scrolls down, so we're going to do it. We're going to put the scrolls down. Now we want to make sure that we've got our texture facing upward, okay, when we do this. So when we do this, we want to use a small ball peen. We don't want to use a big one. Small or medium ball peen. If I use the big one, when I go to rivet that, it wants to roll that rivet over and cock it sideways. So I use a smaller ball peen so that I can control the rivet. We're going to rivet it cold. I've had real good luck riveting up to 1/4 inch cold. So what I want to do is I want to put that rivet through there. Let me get my safety glasses. I want to put that rivet through the back side. I want to put the hook right there, and I'm going to hold on to the hook. I kind of come at it from the side, I guess. And I kind of work around it. If it wants to go sideways, you come over from the opposite direction and bring it back in line. And once I get it, about half where I want it. Then I take the ball peen itself and work around the edges. Now we're going to do the other 4 just like that one. So there's our key rack. If you'll notice, some of the hooks are a little longer than the other hooks. I don't worry a whole lot about that, as long as they're not real long. It kind of adds to the style of it, I guess. But if you want, you can sit there and you can play with them, and you can get them to where they're all the same. Now what I will do is I will go along here and I'll make sure that all the hooks are straight and facing forward and in line, because I like to see them in line, but if they're a little longer, I don't worry about it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this, we're going to clean it up, wire brush it real good. I'll stamp my initials in it, and then I'm probably going to come over here and I'm going to drill 2 holes to hang it by. I always wait until after I get the hooks on here before I drill the holes to hang it by. So we're going to do that, and we're going to call it good. So here's our finished key rack. Okay, we've got it wire brushed and clear coated. Got my initials stamped on the back. Like I said, I make these with everything from 3 to 10 hooks. The 3 to 5 hooks seem to sell the best, and they make a really, almost dropped it. They make a really good practice piece, because you've got the tapering, you've got the splitting, you've got the punching the holes, you've got the riveting, the little pigtail scrolls. You got a little bit of everything there. So there's a lot of good skills in here that this will help you work on improving your skills. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something from it. If you did, do me a favor, like and share it with your friends. That enables me to make more of these videos. And I do appreciate you watching, I really do. And like I said, we'll catch you next time. Until then, be safe and bye.